I'll be reciting about the vertebral column. Vertebral column or the spinal column, it is the central axis of the skeleton in all vertebrates. It is consists of 26 bones. We have the 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic vertebrae, 5 lumbar vertebrae, 1 sacral bone, and 1 coccygeal bone. Then the 5 major functions of the vertebral column are the acronyms PAP. S for supports the weight of the head and trunk. P for protect the spinal cord. A for allows the spinal nerves to exit the spinal cord, and P for provides a site for muscle attachment, and the last P is permits movement of the head and trunk. Then we have the cervical vertebrae. It is delicate and it have a small bodies. Dislocations and fractures are more common in this area than in other regions of the column. And we have the atlas and axis. Atlas is the first cervical vertebrae and it holds up the head. And the axis, it is the second cervical vertebrae, and amount of rotation occurs in axis to produce a no motion of the head. Then next is we have the thoracic vertebrae. It is a group of 12 small bones that forms a vertebral spine, and they are the only vertebrae that supports the ribs and have a overlapping spinous processes. Then the next is we have the lumbar vertebrae. The major function of the lumbar spine is to bear the weight of the body. They are larger in size to absorb the stress of lifting and carrying heavy objects. And the next is we have the sacral vertebrae. Sacral vertebrae, it is highly modified compared with others. These 5 vertebrae is fused into a single bone called sacrum, and it is consists of 3 to 5 semi-fused vertebrae that forms a triangle, and it is easily broken when a person falls down or sitting down hard in a solid surfaces. Then next is we have the appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton consists of the upper limbs, lower limbs, and the girdles. And girdles, girdle means a belt or zone, and it refers to the two zones, the pectoral and the pelvic zone, that wherein the limbs are attached to the body. And next is we have the pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle or the shoulder girdle. It consists of 2 pairs of bones. That attach the upper limbs to the body. We have the ulna and the radius. Ulna, it is on the medial side of the forearm. It is on the medial side of the forearm, and it is in the side of the side with the little fingers, and the radius, it is on the lateral or the thumb side of the forearm. Then the next is we have the next is the upper limbs. Upper limbs, we have the arm. Arm is it is located between the shoulder and the elbow, and it contains only one bone, which is the humerus. And the next is the forearm. Forearm, it is between the elbow joint and the wrist. And the two bones of the forearm is the scapula and the clavicle. Scapula, it is also called as the shoulder blade, and the clavicle, it is the long bone that it is a long bone with S-shaped curve. Then the next is the wrist. Wrist, it is between wrist or the carpals. It is between the forearm and the hand. And we have 8 parts of the wrist bones, and the acronym is the so long top part. Here comes the thumb. We have the scaphoid, lunate, triquetrum, pisiform, hamate, capitate, trapezoid, and trapezium. Then the next is the hand. Hand, we have the metacarpals and the phalanges. Metacarpals consists of the 5 bones, and the phalanges, it is the 5 digits of each hand, includes the 1 thumb and the 4 fingers. Then we have the next is we have the pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle, it is the right and left hip bones that join each other anteriorly and the sacrum posteriorly to form a ring of bones called the pelvic girdle. Then we have the kneecap. We have the patella or the kneecap, then the femur. Then next is we have the patella and the femur. Then we have the leg. Leg is the it supports the most weight of the leg, and there are the two parts of leg. It is the tibia and fibula. Tibia is more larger, and it supports the weight of the leg, and the fibula, it is more shorter and thinner than the tibia. Then next is we have the tibia, fibula. Next is the foot. The foot, it is the it supports the weight of the body, and it allows the locomotion, and it is more larger than the wrist, and it is composed of the 7 tarsal bones. We have the proximal and distal bones. In proximal, we have the no-thanks-cow, and for the navicular, tarsal, and the supercalcaneus. And the distal, we have the MILC for the medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform, lateral cuneiform, and the cuboid. Then for the phalanges and the ng foot, it is the same with the phalanges of the metatarsal and the phalanges of the foot are the same with the metacarpal and phalanges of the hand. The foot has the medial phalanx, proximal phalanx, and distal phalanx. That's all.